Hi, everyone. My name is Mona Ellis, and I'm a qualified DOT SAP provider. I provide SAP services in Utah, Texas, and Arizona. So I am coming to you today because I've had a lot of business this week because my drivers have let me know that they received letters in the mail and that the letter told them that they have 30 days to see their SAP, select the SAP, designate a SAP, and begin the return to duty process, or their license will be downgraded. So this was really a shock to me because I had heard about this happening. I had read some articles and some information on DOT websites that it was supposed to be done and finalized, and everything was supposed to be happening. They were supposed to prepare for how they were going to do this, and it's due by November of 2024. And so I know that it's happening right now in Texas. Some of the other states, like my state of Arizona, I really haven't gotten much feedback from my drivers in that area. But it is true. Your license will be downgraded for your violation if it's prohibited in the system. Okay, so you really need to be able to get started with the SAP program, identify a SAP provider in your area. So there's a lot of SAPs that can only see you within your jurisdiction or their jurisdiction. Basically, if I'm in Texas, if I am a client and I'm in Texas, I won't be able to see a SAP in Arizona unless the SAP is authorized and licensed to be able to provide services in that area. So that is one of the most important things, that you want to make sure that the SAP has authorization and that it's licensed to be able to provide services wherever you are, not where you live. But if I'm in Texas, even though I'm from California, if I am sitting in Texas, then you have to be served by someone and that is approved to see clients in Texas. Now, this is what I kind of printed out from DOT's website. I am going to read out a lot of the information here, but first I'm just going to go over some stuff that I kind of typed up to make sure that I won't misinform anybody. And so one of the things is that this video is to answer questions about the truck drivers and other CDL drivers who are prohibited in the FMCSA clearinghouse. So you need to go and look into your clearinghouse, FMSC portal.gov, look into your clearinghouse and to find out if you are prohibited from driving. So this is a tricky thing. You may have a violation that's not even in the clearinghouse, but it might all of a sudden pop up in the clearinghouse. So you should be always checking your clearinghouse to make sure that you don't have any violations. All right. So as we speak, many states and legislative authorities, letters are being sent out to CDL drivers, and many CDL drivers are worried about their ability to drive commercial vehicles. I've had a lot of clients that had to come in here and hurry up, which I have to tell them, I have to provide you services based on your level of care, based on the American Society of Addiction Medicine. So you won't be able to come into a SAP and say, hey, I need to get this done in 2 weeks. Not happening. We have to do a clinical assessment and an evaluation. We still have to go through the process, recommend you a level of care. You still have to go and complete that level of care after your initial assessment. Prior to coming back for your follow-up assessment, you have to have been complied and completed the SAP recommendations. So that's still important, and that's not going to change. Any SAP that tells you they can finish that up ASAP by tomorrow, that is against the federal legislative laws. We cannot do that. We're clinicians and we're professionals. So I just wanted to throw that in there. So this downgrade is happening because there are drivers that are out there that have drug and alcohol violations or refusals to test in the system. And that could be putting the public at risk. And so as a result, This is a legislative mandate, and this mandate authorizes the state to downgrade your license. Now, some people say, Miss Mona, can the state revoke my license? Yeah, they can. It's up to the state's discretion if they want to revoke your license. I don't know. We have so many states, and one may just downgrade until you complete. The other may say, okay, it's going to be revoked. So that part, I'll tell you the truth, I really don't have a lot of information on, and I don't think anybody else does, because the state's having to November 2024 to get this stuff taken care of. And so many of them are still in the process of trying to get all the clearinghouse information together, because they will have access. They will be able to print out a report within the state of everybody who has a clearinghouse drug and alcohol violation and who is prohibited from driving. So they will be able to see this in the clearinghouse. You won't have to worry about it. How they will notify you, your email is in the clearinghouse, so they can possibly notify you by email. They may send you a letter in the mail. So you should be making sure that you're checking your email and you're finding out what's happening. So what do I do? What do my employer? What does this mean if my license is downgraded? Well, you most definitely have to come off the road. You most definitely will not be able to, you shouldn't be driving anyway because you have a violation and you're prohibited. So I'm saying to thinking that some people are driving. So without um, uh, available to drive status. I believe that there are drivers and they are prohibited from driving, and they are driving because they're coming in here and they're really anxious and they really need to get it done. Um, your employer should be able to know, because your employer should have access to your clearinghouse record. They have to do queries to be able to check this stuff out. And so they're supposed to already know your clearinghouse status. But we have the smaller mom and pop companies that they don't check the clearinghouse. They don't keep up with things. So what does that mean? That means that they will be fined for every load, for everything that you do, if the DOT gets word of it. So this is a question that I'm reading from the paper here. And so this says, will the clearinghouse send the SDLAs, which basically it just means the state and legal authorities, will they send a push notification about the drivers who are prohibited? Um, the date is November the 18th of 2024. Okay, so they're going to already know whether or not you're in compliance, because they will have full access in the clearinghouse web interface, and they can do it manually just by logging into the clearinghouse and downloading the prohibited drivers report. So they can just get in there and download it. As you know, a lot of the police officers in all of the different states, and the state troopers, they can already run plates to identify if you are prohibited from driving. They already really have access to this information already. And so the next thing is that they will be pulling this list regularly over the next few months. And they will be able to estimate how many drivers they will need to downgrade on the compliance date. So you have time to go ahead and get this started if you haven't gotten any information from your state and legislative authority. So I advise you to go ahead and get this started. This is your livelihood. You need money to take care of your family. And so you need to, oh, I don't have the money to pay for a SAP. You need to go find the money. You got to go find it, because it's got to get done if you continue to work in the safety sensitive area, safety sensitive position for DOT. I know that sometimes it's not fair because we have other industries that are not in the clearinghouse. But that doesn't mean they're not working on it. It's just that this was first. The drivers were first because they were priority based on the stats reports of all the drug driving, all the stops, all of the information, all the stuff that's going on the news, and all the stuff that we see, all of the fatalities in the accident. So this was more of an urgent thing, um, based on what the people want, based on what the community want. And so this is why you guys went first with this clearinghouse. But I kind of suspect that you guys are not going to be alone in the near future, because there's a lot of other industries that are also at risk. Um, and so we have also here the next part. I just kind of highlighted all the stuff that I really wanted to go over and talk about. So the next thing I have is so this other thing means that when you go up there to your state driver's license office to renew your CDL, it's a possibility that that may not happen. Okay. If you have a prohibited status in your clearinghouse, because they have where they, before they do the transaction, they're going to go in there and check to see if you're prohibited. And then at that particular time, they may not renew your license. Okay. You may have to start the SAP program before you get your license renewed. And that's been a big deal with a lot of the drivers. They're very, very angry because of this. But what I always say, when I make a poor decision, is that I don't want to get angry. I want to see it as an ability to be able to do better and to learn and to grow. And then that negative experience is going to provide me with a lot of growth, right? And I'll be able to do better and be able to understand the importance of making better choices and better decisions. So we don't want to look at everything in a negative, because the thing about it is your license is downgraded, but you do have an opportunity to begin the SAP services and get your license back. And I know a lot of this stuff may not be that clear. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just learning this myself. And I'm only learning because of the people that I've served this month. As a SAP, I've never been this busy in my life. I'm seeing 6, 7 clients that are coming in that are needing help with getting their SAP process complete. The good thing about it is I did find out that something else that is beneficial to drivers. Before, you would have to wait. Once you go through the SAP progress program, when you get to step 5, taking your return to duty drug and alcohol test, you would have to wait for an employer to hire you before you can take that return to duty drug and alcohol test. But I have some people, which are some consortiums and some third party administrators, that have reached out to me, and they say, hey, look, Mona, I can provide them with a return to duty drug test. And if they test negative on the return to duty drug or alcohol test, some SAPs do drug and alcohol tests, they provide negative tests, I will go in there and update their clearinghouse status to eligible to drive. Now, is this costly? Yes, it's costly. Okay. It is costly, but it's also beneficial if you need to get back to work, and you need to get back to work quick. So I'm going to get my phone. Sorry, guys. And I am going to tell you about the companies that have reached out to me. One in particular, but I've gotten 2 more that can do your return to duty drug test. So you can get this information is going to be on my website. I have one on there already, but I'm going to update it with some more consortiums. So I'm going to do a referral list in the future where I'll have counselors, consortiums, and all that kind of stuff. So on my first page, it says, need to find a job quick after SAP process, bridge the gap from SAP completion, step 4 to step 5. And the person that called me first, I put them on my website. So his name is Bob, and Bob has helped some of my guys with the return to duty status. And I'm so appreciative of him because they are so happy, even though they had to go through the process. At least at the end of the process, they was able to meet with Bob, and he was able to help them out. And so Bob's phone number, I hope he forgives me because I'm going to give y'all his number. Okay. It's 828-778-8337. And he will click you from red to green. Okay. Um, and he has it to where you can automatically go on his website and you can automatically sign up. I'm looking for that information on my phone. It is www.cdlstep5.com. That's www.cdlstep5.com. So you reach out to Bob, you go on there, you fill out the information, you register for his portal, you fill in your information, you pay the fee, and then he'll reach out to you, contact you. And let me tell you something. He reaches out to me quick because he has the SAP, all the SAP's information, and our email, because he's contacted us through a verifiable list called saplist.com. If you need a SAP, you can go to saplist.com, Google in your state, and you can find a SAP within your state that can provide help. This site already verifies the SAP. You don't have to worry about if it's a fake person or anything like that. They already will verify that the SAP, we put our credentials in there, we put our all of our information, our license information, our MAC certifications, our SAP certifications. We put all that information in there and they verify us. So the saplist.com. If you need to find a SAP, these people are not asking me to do this. I'm only doing it because the information needs to be out there. It's no big secret. You guys need help, and we want to make sure that you get what you need because we need you on the road. We need you driving. We need you delivering packages. Everybody's depending on you guys. You guys are professional drivers. We appreciate you and everything that you do. All we want is to make sure that you are safe on the road, the public is safe on the road. And I want to be confident that when I'm driving, because I see clients in different states, I see clients, I drive to Beaumont, I have an office in Beaumont, and I'm always seeing a bunch of drivers on the road, truck drivers. And I want to make sure that you're safe because I don't want to be injured and I don't want to be hurt, or my family member or your family member. So it's very important that you are on the road, and we do know that you're not using drugs or alcohol. You're a professional driver. Your work is appreciated, and we want you to get back out there and get going, doing what you love to do. That wraps up everything for me today. I know I'm kind of just jibber jabbering all over the place, but I'm just trying to provide information. And I've been getting a lot of comments on my site. People have been asking me a lot of questions. I thank all of you guys for stopping by my page. I haven't posted in a while because I've been working, but I just want you guys to know that there are people that out there that do care about the public safety, and also the companies that allows our drivers to get jobs and that hire our drivers out of the SAP program. We're very appreciative of you, and we want to make sure that other drivers are able to be hired and that you can put your faith and trust back in them because they've done what we've asked them to do, and they're ready to go to work and they're ready to stay clean and sober. All right. You guys have a great day. Bye.